Wrestling fans, now you too can look as cool as Monty and the Pharaoh by wearing the official Monty and the Pharaoh sunglasses at night for $8.99 each. That's only $8.99 each. Now available at montyandthepharaoh.com. You punk.
What? Yeah. No, I'm behaving myself. No, I'm not playing in abandoned buildings. What? Again? Now, I suppose you had those people follow me again. Fine. Hey, this is Jimmy Farrow from Monty and the Pharaoh, and I want to thank all our subscribers. We have now passed 14,000 on our YouTube channel. But I want to ask our subscribers to take the next step for us and become a full-fledged member of Monty and the Pharaoh. Yeah, that's right, folks. There's 3 different levels to choose from. There's free shirts. There's free autographs. Just check it out and become a member of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. Later.
Tell me if he gets back on. All right, welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty and the Pharaoh, seen here every Thursday from 9 p.m. to whenever. And at the board is the super producer, Matthew Ice. Matthew, how are you, sir?
I'm doing excellent as always, although my nose is a little stuffy.
A little stuffy from the dusty.
Yep. So if you
They're
hear
doing
me
some
sneeze,
rebuilds
everyone,
here in Indie Music TV.
So that white stuff on his nose is dust.
It's dust.
Interesting,
dust.
Matt.
It's
I thought you were
cocaine.
taking up a new recreational drug with that.
confirmed
So they're putting up
dust.
a new green screen in here, and they're doing a whole bunch of good old, cool old
Yeah.
stuff here.
Yeah, they be working.
If you didn't know it, this is the start of the show, Mr. Jimmy Farrow. Jimmy, how are you?
Just ducky. What's going on?
Are you very excited for our guest, Ahmed Johnson?
Yeah. Yep.
Formerly from the WWE and
Yes, sir.
WCW.
And the Dallas Cowboys.
And the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep. Psyched. This might be the finest specimen as far as muscles that ever walked into a ring. Oh my God, his muscles had muscles.
Dude, that guy, when he was in the Attitude Era, right? 'Cause
Yep.
he was in the beginning of the Attitude Era,
Right. Before it went
Lightning
batshit.
hot, brother.
Yeah, he was pretty damn
Lightning
popular there
hot.
for a little bit.
I remember when he
It was
first
quite the
came
run.
out, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, you must have gone nuts. This is your type of look, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
You know.
So,
Big.
if you didn't know it, Jimmy,
Yeah.
an act of hate.
What?
Actor charged with vandalizing
Actor.
the George Floyd statue
What?
in New York City. I don't know if I pronounced his name right, but
Micah?
Mikal Beals,
Yeah, Micah
37,
Beals,
was
right.
charged with criminal mischief after surveillance video showed a white man on a skateboard splash gray paint on a statue of the city's Union Square, then fleeing on October 3rd.
Well, that's a dick move.
That's it?
Yeah,
that's all
that's-
you're going to give me?
Yeah, that's a dick move. So, and thanks for making white people look like assholes. Nice job, buddy. And what's he an actor? Career over if he was. But
Why do people feel like they got to
don't know.
vandalize and
I don't-
destroy things? I'm not getting
no,
society
nope,
anymore.
I'm not getting
And maybe
any
it's
of
because
it.
I'm older, but things are just bothering me more and more and
Interesting.
more.
Interesting. It's
It's
an act
like-
of stupidity, and they caught him.
It's just an act of hate and hate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Idiot.
stupidity.
It's
You're
just
right.
it's just idiotic, and it
How
doesn't
about an
make
act
any...
of disappointment, my friend?
Yeah, and how about throwing a big fat broad paintbrush over everybody who shares his skin color? Nice job, asshole. I don't feel that way. I'm not going to freaking start spray painting or doing things to a George Floyd statue. You respect it because other people respect it. Leave it be. It's not, what the
if you
fuck's your
disagree
problem?
with it,
that's one thing.
Leave it be. Yeah,
That's
make your
one thing.
statements on social media.
Yeah, get on the keyboard like every other freaking coward and do your thing. You know what I mean? What are you doing?
That's right. And by the way, very
Stupid.
successful last show. Again, Matt, kudos to you and the production where we had live call-ins, video call-ins.
That was great.
Of the fans.
Wasn't that great?
Chris Lee, who helps out with the channel, was a little perturbed because one of the keyboard warriors, like you said,
someone ran their mouth.
Bigfoot from the Howard Stern show.
How did you handle that? By the way, I mean,
how did I handle it?
You usually
I said, "Hey, Chris, you're famous now. Deal with it." That's what I wrote him.
Interesting. Well, Chris, don't take it to heart. There's a lot of assholes out there. Anyway,
guys, gotta.
You wouldn't believe the things they say about me, man.
You gotta have thick
come
skin,
on.
dude.
Yeah, bro, don't worry about it. You're gold in our eyes.
I'd like to thank the band that sings the theme song for Monty and the Pharaoh, our own Jimmy Farrow, along with his partner Bart Griggs. They make up the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall's getting a lot of love, man.
Yeah, what's going on?
You got the opening theme for the Tony Atlas show, which is every Tuesday
Finest
at 9
hour.
p.m. That's doing very well.
Yep.
Finest Hour.
Thank you.
You've got the opening theme song for
Macho
the
Man
Macho
Days
Man
with
Days.
Heartless Man, I do believe.
That is
not
correct.
bad, man.
And
Not bad.
obviously the theme song for Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, Riding High.
Yeah, but of course.
We're kind of petitioning the WWE to have Becky Lynch use Riding High as her new theme
I'll
song.
tell you what, the words fit her character a lot better than whoa, 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 whoa. What does that fit?
Don't put that whoa, whoa.
What does that fit, though? I mean, well, you can put that to anybody. Mike's making toast for breakfast. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's a good song.
No, it's not.
It's Irish.
No, it's
Scottish.
It's just there.
Wow.
She's awesome. The music.
Download Wisteria Hall's songs such as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain, and you could find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Please hit that like and
subscribe
button.
Thank you.
Also go to Spotify, Apple Music. I keep screwing that up. Reverb Nation, download their music. And if you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
You can catch us on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page, Monty and the Pharaoh Facebook Live page, Monty and the Pharaoh iHeartRadio. Or you can listen to us on iHeartRadio, Spotify,
right.
Anchor. Catch us on the Monty and the Pharaoh Twitch TV page. Also, if you live in New York, on New York Cable, 80,000 viewers weekly. That's
right.
80,000.
Yep. Eat your heart out, TNA.
There you go. Channel 115 every Tuesday from 9:30 till 10 o'clock. And for early riser... I got my old script here.
What? Do you?
Saturday.
Welcome, Lee Cole.
Saturday, Channel 20 at 11:30 p.m. That's funny. That's an inside joke, everybody.
Yes, it is.
And
Go
Channel
on.
20 at Tuesday at 2 a.m. By the way, we want to welcome new sponsor.
What?
John Cena Sr. with his $1 million hot sauce joining our list of sponsors. I'm sure the big fat whale is not enjoying that.
Well, you know.
But that's not the reason we did it. John Cena is a good friend of the show.
He's a man.
But let me not keep going on. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then I don't know what it is, dude, but I'm actually a little nervous.
Are you marking out, though?
I'm not marking out. I'm just I feel like he could come through my screen and just rip my face
Let's
off.
hope he doesn't. He's a big, big man.
He is a big man.
Yep. You must be talking about Ahmed Johnson.
That is correct.
Oh, man.
And we'll be back with Ahmed Johnson.
Stay tuned.
Hi, it's John from Under the Table Hot Sauce. I'm here with my friend, the star of the show, Jimmy Farrow.
Yeah. What's up, JB?
Nah, nothing.
It's been a hot summer, and for all your barbecue needs, you can go to underthetablehotsauce.com. 13 unique flavors to choose from, created and bottled in a Long Island kitchen. Underthetablehotsauce.com. Let's go chow, JB.
Let's do it.
All the flavor, twice the burn.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty Nefaro, produced out of Indie Music TV in Long Island, New York, where we're welcoming future, in my opinion, Hall of Famer.
There you go.
One of the most influential professional wrestlers of his time,
Okay.
Ahmed Johnson.
you
Mr.
go.
Johnson, how are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
All right, man. Thank you for joining us. This is really an honor that you take your time out and shoot the shit with Monty Nefaro. How you holding up out there, my friend? How's everything going in Texas? How you dealing with COVID and everything else that's going on in the world?
Oh, everything is beautiful out here, man.
Life is good.
And the COVID, stand away from the COVID. Went and got my shots, and I'm good to go.
And how you staying away from COVID? Like, you just like not get around people, or what do you do?
No, I really got my shots already, so I don't fear them too much.
Okay.
All right, well, we got to be careful about talking about COVID on this channel because we were suspended for
Yeah.
Missy Hyatt's views on COVID-19, so that didn't go well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I guess you're not allowed to speak about anything in the United States anymore.
It seems like that. What's the Ahmed? What is the Texas mindset with the coronavirus? What's it been like in Texas during the last couple of years since this all started?
Well, it's been everybody's been pretty much staying at home. All the little restaurants and stuff are closed down.
Okay.
But they're all back up and going now. Everything seems almost back to normal, except we're having a big fight with the school board as far as, whether the kids have to wear masks or not.
Okay. Where are they at in Texas at this point? Are they making them wear masks, or is it still up in the air?
They were until the school board took them to court.
Okay.
And now our great leader said that they don't have to wear masks. And he don't, and that's sad coming from somebody who had COVID.
Well, I was actually just talking about that with my wife, right? It's like, even though people are vaccinated, they still should social distance to a certain level and wear masks
Yes.
when out in public, right? Because,
Sure.
again, we all want to protect each other.
agree.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you do. Not that I would argue with you, man. You're
better
scaring
not.
me just looking at you on video right
Wait a
now.
minute. Can I see it? Oh, my God. Yeah, he didn't shrink at all. Well, are you still working out all the time? I mean, how long is your workout every day?
No, man.
All right, then explain. How come you're still so big? Well, how's that work?
Not just genetics.
Okay. You're not throwing around cars in your spare time or anything like that?
No,
So you,
I
so,
cut that out about 6 years ago.
so you mentioned genetics, right? Can you tell me about mom and dad? Tell us a little story about mom and dad, where they came from.
Well, they were both from Florida,
Okay.
and my dad was a big man, and my mom was short and stocky.
Okay. Did Pop play
What is he?
athletics? Athletics for Dad growing up?
He played a little football.
Okay. At what point
He
did
was
you?
a good athlete.
At what point did you decide you wanted to be a wrestler? When does that come into play?
Oh man, that wasn't until later on in my life.
Okay.
Like when you guys first seen me debut, I have been wrestling for like maybe 2 years.
So you took the fast track.
Then, yeah, I did. It was pretty fast.
So you played for the Cowboys, right? And then you kind of you were trained by Scott Casey and Ivan Putski. Were you kind of embarrassed about getting into wrestling, being that you came from a football background?
No, not at all. I prefer it, honestly,
How come?
because the guys were, kind of to themselves. In football, you gotta get around all these jolly old guys, whether they like you or not. And the wrestling, you can basically be who you are.
Which was more difficult for your body? I would assume NFL football. Am I? compared
Yes.
to- okay. So you found
Yes,
wrestling.
because
Go ahead.
because you didn't have to work every day. You know what I'm saying? And wrestling is every day, so you're gonna expect injuries. But playing football, you didn't have to do it every day. But during practice and stuff, you get injured.
What years were you with the Cowboys, or what year were you actually with Dallas? Because I'm trying to pinpoint the year here to ask you about the team itself.
Back in '99, you got me thinking. I'm getting old, man.
I hear you. So
Happens
am
to
I.
all of us.
Yep, happens to the best of us. Was this with Aikman and Irvin by any chance, and Smith?
No, it was right before them.
Right before them. So how about Jimmy Johnson? He wasn't in there yet either, Jimmy Johnson, or the coach?
I think Jim Johnson was. I think Jim Johnson was in there.
Okay. Any memories of Jimmy Johnson?
Just wild. He was teaming with me. Wild, he might come from the University of Miami. He's a wild and crazy man.
It's a wild and crazy man. I can believe that.
So you get trained by Scott Casey and Ivan Putski. Can you tell us? Scott's been in studio. Can you tell us a little bit about Scott, and can you tell us a little bit about Ivan?
Ivan was the kind of the hardcore shoot type of coach. And Scott Casey, I never got trained with Scott Casey.
Oh, okay. I had heard that Scott Casey also trained you.
No, I trained with Ivan Putski.
Okay. So let
And
me
that
ask
was-
you. Let me ask you this about Ivan. Ivan was known for never letting anybody get over on him when he was here in the Northeast. Did he at least let you beat him up when training?
Nobody went over on him.
Ivan's very consistent.
He probably fed you his
Very
son, though, right?
consistent.
Oh,
No, he would even watch over Scott. I mean, it was like you didn't want to really compete against Scott because you know his dad was going to let him win. And I remember Ivan jumping on one of the wrestlers backstage and getting hammered, man. The wrestler hammering him.
Wow.
Now, Ivan was not exactly a Bret Hart. What sort of training is involved when an Ivan Putski is training you? I mean, if you know what I'm getting at, you know, he's not a Kurt Angle or a
Right.
Bret Hart. What was the training like?
It was more of Ivan Putski was more of a shoot type of training.
Okay.
You know, he teach you how to shoot, and he would shoot on you when he got in the ring. He would, you know, because he was older, he felt like he had to prove something, so he would definitely let you have it.
Really now. All right.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I got to
good toast though.
Okay. I got to get this in because I'm not sure the folks at home realize this. You were the first African-American singles champion in the WWF when you won the WWF Intercontinental title. How do you feel about that? That's pretty major, my friend.
Yeah, that was super good, man. That's why, you know, when I gave my speech, I wanted to make sure everybody understood I wasn't doing it just for, you know, one race. You know, I was doing it for all the people who, like your fans, you know, the people who are into the sport and people who feel like they have something to prove.
Because that was a major deal, especially up here. I don't know how much you know about the history in the WWE, but like when Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson beat the Wild Samoans, that was such a huge moment, and I would put your moment as winning the Intercontinental title right on that level.
Yep.
When you look back at your career, do you still like just realize how important that moment was?
Yeah, that's a moment, man. You can't help but realize how important it was because it helped open the doors for people like even The Rock, I believe. You know, having the first African American champion opened the door for a lot of people.
What was it like when you first met Vince McMahon? Because your physique is, I would tend to think, is Vince McMahon's wet dream. I mean, what did Vince say to you? Like, you know, oh my, the things we're going to do with you? What was it like when you first met Vince?
You know what? It's funny you said that. He said those exact words.
Did he really say?
Wow.
Yes, he did. He said those exact words.
Wow.
What, like, you're my wet dream, Johnson?
No, he didn't say that part now.
You're hired.
No, he let that. He didn't say that part now. He let that part go.
Yeah, okay. But he was obviously clearly very impressed with you. So the first meeting went well when you met Vince.
Yeah, went very well.
Hell yeah,
I
it
was very
rough.
impressed with him.
Were
I was
you
impressed with him and his organization. So yeah, it went
were
well.
you nervous around him? Was he like this godly figure almost? What was your feeling when you first met him?
Yeah, I was nervous when I first met him. You know, he was very firm man, very firm on his decisions. And, you know, and he impressed me.
How about the politics? How quickly did you realize, there's some politics?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, how quick was that before you realized that? With like a day in that locker room?
Oh,
Stepping in?
brother, a day you knew where, you know, people stand, because you walk back there and you see these cliques all together.
Click. There you go.
Yeah, you see, you know, you got the click over here with Yoko, you got a click over here with Sean, you got a click over here with Joe Blow.
Did anybody try to make you feel comfortable? Anybody come to you and say, welcome, you know? Anybody?
The only person that came up to me, man, made me feel comfortable with Razor Ramon.
Razor
Really?
Ramon?
That's a surprise.
He's part of the
Razor
clique. Are you
Ramon.
sure he wasn't playing you? I mean,
I hope
hey, you got some big biceps there, buddy. I don't know if I would have bought into a single thing. I guess he was genuine though. I mean, you're saying he was friendly to you. You guys. Did you guys stay friends over the years?
I'd like to think we did.
Okay.
You know, when he left for WCW, you know, he probably forgot about us all, but
You think? He might have.
yeah,
He might have.
I think that. But he came up to me and, you know, he was telling me what looked good that I was doing and what wasn't looking good that I was doing, and I hope he wasn't playing me. But
Right.
like you said, he could have been playing me.
Right. How easy was it for you to adapt to becoming a pro wrestler after being a football player? Was it easy? Was there struggles? Did you wonder if you had made the right decision as you started to, you know, get your, you know, your feet underneath you in the pro wrestling business?
Not really, because when I first started doing it, I started doing it for kicks. You know, it was fun.
Okay.
It was something that it's just a lot of fun to have people, you know, calling your names and spitting on you and throwing shit at you.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Ahmed,
Hey.
so
I'd enjoy it, but that's me.
look, I was a huge fan when you came out. I thought you had all the goods. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Thanks,
so
man.
when you listen to some of the, you know, again, just like we were talking at the beginning of the show, right? Everybody's got
Oh,
haters
the
and
internet.
everybody else.
Forget about it with the internet.
So
but,
you,
yeah.
when they speak about you, obviously they thought you were green, and in some cases, some wrestlers thought you were dangerous. We're from Long Island, New York, so I was at the Coliseum when D'Lo Brown broke Droz's neck. I was there live,
Oh Lord.
and then we actually know, you know, when Owen Hart actually hurt Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, these are two examples of, you know, look, I'm sure accidents happen, but I guess the point I'm trying to make to you is, one, do you feel that just people were jealous because of your meteoric rise in the WWE, so they were trying to hold you down by saying those things about you? Because, you know, to this day, you don't hear about D'Lo being dangerous. And I was there that night, and that was, you know, again,
Good point.
Droz blames himself,
Right.
but I saw that D'Lo was just, in my opinion, was not paying attention.
That was a reckless moment.
And it was
Right.
reckless. Thank you for the word.
Yeah.
So I guess my point is, how do you feel about my statements? And then can you share with me your thoughts on D'Lo Brown? Because I know you did have a couple of issues with him.
Well, I agree with your statements 100%. Because there was a match one time when we were wrestling, and he did the leap over, you know, that leapfrog thing he does, and I wasn't even in place yet, and he went on and did it anyway. So that jerk ass boy, he's not a friend of mine.
Can you clear the air for those listening out there? Do you feel that your reputation is fair when it comes to these things that some people have written about you on the internet? What is your opinion on people who would say that you worked stiffly?
I would say I probably did. I would even say that honestly, I was a little green, you know, when I came in, but the boss is the boss. He put you in there and say, do this, you do that. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't have a job the next morning.
We did mention Owen Hart. You had left the WWE. I believe you were in WCW. What were your thoughts on the Over the Edge pay-per-view the night that we lost Owen Hart and he passed away from the fall?
Oh man, that hurt me bad. I didn't, expect that. I mean, not from one of the top ring technicians, and then come find out it wasn't that. It was he fell from the roof.
Were you surprised that the show went on?
Yes, extremely.
If you had been backstage that night, would you have actually said, "What are you guys crazy to go on with the show"? How do you think you would have? I know it's a hard question to ask, but if you had been there, would you have said something like, "What are you guys nuts continuing the show"?
I think I would have said something, but I can't lie to you. If that's what the boss wanted, was to continue the show,
Right.
then that's what you have to do.
Right.
I can't lie to you and say, I'm all, no, I would have stood there and fought back.
I got you. I got you.
Were you close with Owen in your time in the WWE?
Oh, man. I was his king of ha-has.
Really?
Yeah, he used to play ha-has on me all the time, man. He used to get me good, man.
Can you share one of those stories?
Yeah, what'd he do to you? If you could share.
Well, one time we were going, it was WrestleMania. 13, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's how old I am. Jesus
Would
Christ.
you stop? Oh, my God. Okay.
And,
all right, so it was a little while ago. I'm with you. Go on.
and we were getting ready to, going there, everybody's getting ready to do what they have to do. And my phone rings, and it's a Jay Leno show. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. And so he tells me, hey, this is Jay Leno show. We want to see you to the studio tomorrow at such time, such. I'm like happy, man. I'm just excited. And then come to find out, I get all dressed up, man, and I went and brought a new suit, some new jewelry and everything. Then come to find out, I walk outside, and Owen and Davey Boy's outside. And I'm like, why are they out here? What are they waiting for? And I'm sitting there like an idiot dressed up with no place to go. And then Brett walks out and starts laughing and tells me, man, Owen and played the game, ha-ha on you. Owen did that, man. That wasn't no Jay Leno show. And they laughing, man. I mean, they're in the bushes. They done laugh so hard.
Did they take you out to dinner at least? You're all dressed up.
No, they didn't do anything but run.
Run! Oh, my God.
They got out there.
Yeah, you'll show them working stiff, right? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be right back after this commercial break with, in our opinion, future Hall of Famer, Ahmed Johnson.
Should be. See you in a sec, folks. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB. The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah. And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, where we have the honor of having with us WWE, WCW superstar Ahmed Johnson. So it's funny, Ahmed, I was thinking about you when you were with the Road Warriors.
Wow.
We lost Joe.
Good.
We lost Joe recently, Road Warrior Animal. Can you share some thoughts about Joe and maybe what kind of relationship you had with him?
Well, he seemed to be a quiet type of dude, man, But he was a good tag team partner. I mean, I enjoyed tag team with them more than I have anybody.
Were they fun to be around? Were they, did they do a lot of gags? What were the difference between Road Warrior Animal, Road Warrior Hawk when you hung out with them?
Warrior Hawk was the one to get you in gags and play Joe. So Joe seemed more serious.
What was a typical night out with the Road Warriors like? I mean, would you hit a bar? Were there ring rats? I mean, come on, let's have
Oh my
some.
God, hit a bar.
Hit the bar and empty the bar, right?
If you go that way, if you go with a Hawk, man, you can just plan on staying there all night. Cause you're gonna have an all nighter. Brother, there was talking about hitting the bar.
There you go.
The bar hit him.
How about the ring rats? Did you have some good experiences with that? Where you're like, wow, this is just like being an NFL pro football player with all these ladies? Or was it more like, did you keep to yourself and stay away from the ring rat scene?
Well, honestly, it was better. I mean, I wasn't a top NFL player, but,
Understood.
professional wrestling is a different ball game. You're that individual, and the people tend to think that individual is you. Mm-hmm. So with the ring rats, it was pretty cool. I never had any bad experience with any of them.
There we go.
Did you have like a different woman in every town?
Wow.
No, just some of the towns, not every town.
Some of the town. Well, he couldn't cover every town. It was a couple of year run, I mean, if he had been around for like 20 years, I'm sure he would have covered every town by now.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
I
very
skipped every other town.
There you go.
Yeah, you took a break.
How about, I got to ask you, I mean, I mean this too, you were probably the most perfect Vince McMahon type muscular specimen I've probably ever seen in the ring. I mean, you were just so chiseled, so statue-like,
Thank you.
but the injuries kept stopping your runs. Do you think this had something to do with the weightlifting and your massive size?
I believe so. I believe I had more meat on my frame than I'm supposed to have.
Okay.
Like usually I would weigh in and I get 250, but for WWE I went up to like 350 sometime.
Holy
Wow.
cow.
Wow.
Yeah, I was almost 350 and still had a 32-inch waist.
Well, yeah, you. So
Oh, man.
that leads to the next question. I'm only assuming that you hit the gas. What are your thoughts on the gas? Does it get a bad rap?
No, it doesn't. It's exactly what it says it does, Especially if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you can hurt yourself real bad.
Now, did you feel like you had to take the gas in order to become more popular and make more bucks at the WWE, or it was just something you did?
No, it was something that you had to do basically if you were going to stay up top. I mean, just about all the boys was on it. They won't tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But just about all the boys was on it.
So I'm going to ask you that question. So we've had so many stars in here, and it seems like they're okay with talking about all the drugs and the alcohol they take, but when you mention steroids, that's like a no-no. They want to say they never take them. Why do you feel that's way? That they feel it's more acceptable to be high on drugs and whatever they were doing, but they don't want to be known for taking steroids?
I don't know. That's a weird one. I don't know why they would be more accepted to say they were taking.
They seem pretty insecure about it, like they don't want to be like, called cheaters, that their body was, what you were looking at. Maybe it's that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I guess to add on that, you're not ashamed to tell people that you took the juice, right? I mean, it's obvious. But
Yeah, I took tests, and that's the only thing I ever took.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you having any adverse effects from that, and later on in life, are your test levels low now, and you have to take some supplements through, the doctor, or did everything just stay the same?
No, because I didn't stay a full cycle on them.
Okay.
So my testosterone level and stuff, I've been blessed. I mean, everything is good. Health is good.
When you were
Yeah.
when you were developing, your in-ring style and stuff, was there anybody you wanted to pattern yourself after? I know that wrestling came later for you, and you were trained by Ivan Putski. But once you started getting in the ring and stuff, was there anybody you said, "Boy, I'd like to maybe wrestle like this guy"? Or did you have any influences?
Yeah, you know who I patterned myself after? Nikita Koloff.
Nice.
Very nice. He's been on the show. He's a good guy too. Nice.
Have you?
No, he's been on the show also, Nikita Koloff. Did you, by any chance, did you ever get to come across him behind the scenes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you let him know that Did you let him know that he's the man?
I did. I let him know that I patterned myself after him. It was just something about his style, man, that I liked. You know, how he grunt. If you notice I grunt whenever I hit, that's the same thing he used to do.
Now I have
Nikita Koloff.
Oh, he's awesome. I have a strange question here. I want to see if you remember this. There was an incident where you, Warrior, and Shawn Michaels were going up against Camp Cornette. Oh,
Yes.
good old Jim Cornette. You want to tell us what you remember about a fan jump in the ring and you basically scaring the shit out of him?
Yeah, he was about to jump in the ring, and then we ran over to the edge where he was, and he scattered, man. He changed his mind real quick.
He's out
like,
of here.
screw that, man.
He's out of here like shit through a goose.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, I was figuring, you a badass at jumping. You done got this far. Come on in.
So let me ask
But
you. Let me ask you that, Ahmed. So you're a scary looking guy, right? Huge, and boy, you could put a scowl on. I mean, talk about.
Oh yeah.
Look, you were a great face, but I could have really felt like you were like a super heel too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is that your demeanor in real life, or is that just an act?
That was just not.
Wow.
Did you prefer
Yeah, I know.
Would you have preferred to be a face or a good guy if you were the guy writing the script? A good guy or bad guy?
I would have liked to try the heel spot for a little bit,
Yeah.
but they never let me.
Who would you pick as your manager?
Oh man, who would I pick as my manager?
Come
I
on.
bet you wouldn't be Jim Cornette.
No, for sure. That jerk off. No, for
And
sure.
don't worry,
It
man.
wouldn't have been him.
He's not a fan of ours.
Yeah,
either,
he don't like
so
us
it's
at
okay.
all, so you can say whatever you
We're
want
all in the
about
same
him.
boat.
No,
together.
he don't like me.
There you go.
No, he's not a big fan of ours.
He don't like me, and I never done anything bad to him, man. I mean, I respected him when he was there, and
Right.
he still talks shit about me. So
Yeah.
Well, because
To each his own.
he's that wrestling purist, right? It's like, he probably thought you had to do your dues or something like
Wrestling purist.
whatever.
He used a tennis racket to hit people. He's
Yeah,
a wrestling
right.
purist. Holy arm bar.
So Farrell
Oh,
brought up
my God.
Farrell brought up Shawn Michaels, right? So Shawn had a lot of control back then. Was he one of the guys trying to hold you down? And what was it like dealing with the Clique during that time?
Oy.
yeah, trust me, if Sean see anybody finna go up or up the ladder, he was gonna hold him back. So he had his hand on me for a while, trying to hold me down.
Now, did you understand that? Or, honestly, why didn't you just go kick his ass?
No, that's a good question. I mean, in the beginning, I didn't understand it, but later on, I got to see what the Clique was all about. It was all about President Sean running the nation.
President Sean running the nation. Interesting. Did you ever feel that... How do I put this? This is not an easy thing to ask, but I'll give it a shot. Did you ever feel that those guys would ever get the hell out of your way at any point, or did you just feel frustrated? What do you do with something like that? I mean, you know that damn well that they've got Vince's ear. Did you ever try going to Vince? Did you ever try to do anything about it?
No, I just let it play out. Because I feel as though, if you got too far with it, then I was going to have to do what I have to do.
I mean, we're getting a lot.
He didn't,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
but he didn't go too far with me with it.
Okay.
We're getting a lot of Gold Dust questions. So, what was your relationship with Dustin, and did you want to slap the shit out of him when he kissed you on the mouth?
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, first of all, I didn't even realize he was going to even do that. He kind of, we rehearsed it, and he put his hand over my mouth, and he kissed his hand. But, when we went live, he thought it would be funny not to put his hand there, and he did it for real. And unfortunately, some jobber at the door had to pay for it. Because he got out there. He grabbed his bag and went straight out the back door.
Wow.
But no, Dustin's, I mean, he's cool with me, man. I got no problem with Dustin.
So let's go back to President Sean. How did you feel about like some of the other things he was doing, like having sex with Sonny while Chris Candido was in the wrestling ring and things like that? Did you know that stuff was going on?
Oh yeah, it was obvious. She would disrespect Chris so bad right in front of his face, man.
Did you feel like saying to Chris, like, what are you doing? Like, don't you see this happening?
No, because we weren't that close. I mean, not close to the point where, I would speak on his relationship.
Tell us your thoughts, since we're on Shawn Michaels right now, about the Montreal screw job.
Oh, man, I felt so sorry for Brett, man, on that one. Because I couldn't believe they were going to do that in his hometown, man.
Did it give you second thoughts about the business in general?
Yes, it did. It played a big part in my decision when I left.
How was Bret Hart towards you behind the scenes? Just curious.
He was cool. It was Brett. No, I didn't have a problem with him.
So did you were there? You were there at the time of the Montreal screw job, right?
Right.
Did you even go to Vince and go, what's going on? Or did you ever talk to Undertaker about that? I mean, what was the feeling in the back? Like, a couple of people didn't show up to Raw that following night. Like, did you say anything about it?
And could you tell something strange was going to happen that night? Could you tell in the locker room something strange was going on?
Yeah, because the clique kept getting together.
Okay.
And that was, they got together more than usual. They always got together, but this was more than usual. So you knew something, you had this funny feeling something was going on. But yeah, I did speak out during our meeting the next day. I did speak out against, what I thought was wrong, that was.
And what was said
dirty.
to you? What was said? Who was leading the meeting when you spoke out? Who was speaking up, and what was said about it?
Vince was leading the meeting. And basically his answer was, if you don't like what we're doing here, move on.
Wow. I bet there was a lot of very nervous people sitting in front of Vince McMahon that day.
Yeah.
That had to be very uncomfortable. I wanted to ask you, so what does Ahmed Johnson think when you see the current day Shawn Michaels, who's, shooting deer and saying "Stand still for Jesus" while he shoots him? Any thoughts on Captain Religion nowadays? Considering what you're telling me about him, I mean, is it just a big fat crock, or I guess that's his own personal thing, or what says the first ever African American Intercontinental Champion to Minister Michaels?
I think it's still a work.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I love Jesus, and you're shooting little deer. I think you
stand still for Jesus. There you go. It's unbelievable, right? Okay.
So
I never heard that before.
Sorry.
Stand still for Jesus.
I can't help
it.
I can't help it.
Venison, anybody?
That's what I think, and he could take that terrible movie he made.
So
a
lot of people. Let's talk about Mark Henry and Farouk, Ron Simmons. What's your relationship back then with them, and what's your relationship now? And I'll just share my thoughts on Mark Henry. I'm not a big fan.
Right. Well, we never really got a close relationship with any of them. I kind of stayed away from the nation also.
How come?
Because there was another clique.
Another clique.
It was a clique, and it was a clique built more on racism than it was anything else.
Really? Wow.
Wow.
But you hear stories about Ron Simmons, like, teaching everybody and dropping knowledge on them and helping them with their careers. Here you are. You're this young guy, totally hot. He's got the world at his feet, just needs to be guided a little bit and taught.
Sure.
Where was Ron Simmons for Ahmed Johnson?
He wasn't there. He wasn't there at all.
Thoughts on Mr. USA Tony Atlas?
I never really met Tony Atlas.
Well, we got to fix that, Mike.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We're going to have to fix that one for you.
I just want to go back to
Yeah.
Ron Simmons again.
Sure.
Why do you think he wasn't there for Ahmed Johnson? He seemed to be there
Out
for
of
everybody else.
jealousy- Out of jealousy, because you remember he was the first black champion in WCW, wasn't he? Or am I speaking wrong?
You are
Nope,
correct.
you're correct.
You're correct.
And then I became the first black champion in WWF, and it was jealousy pure. He even said on one of his interviews that he was jealous.
Interesting.
And did you feel that he was jealous at the time, or you just didn't care what anyone thought?
I really didn't care what anyone thought. I mean, as long as you kept to yourself, I didn't care.
Boy, that had to be an interesting balance for you. You clearly had the support of the owner, yet you were dealing with the bullshit from all the employees. That had to be different.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
Strange, man.
Because they didn't want a young, dude coming in there taking spots and this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. I came in, and they saying I came in, too early, and which I wouldn't doubt it, but I came in there willing to learn.
Were there ever aspirations or any revelations from Vince that he might have had you becoming a world champion in mind? Was that ever thrown your way in the back or discussed with you about the possibility of you becoming WWF champion?
That was the rumor. And you could tell because the heat from the boys were picking up.
So how was Austin towards you during that period?
He didn't really say too much to me either.
How about a young Rock?
And I mean,
How about a young Rocky Maivia? Do you have any memories of coming across him?
Rock was cool, man. I mean, back in when he was younger, just as he got older and more popular, things started to change.
So you saw him.
smelling his own
You saw him
shit
years
over
later, and
Well, he says
What did he
he's smelling his own shit.
he smells what he's leaving instead of cooking, huh? Yeah, you might want to try. You might want to try flushing a couple of times.
When did you finally? Well, I guess we got another question for you, real quick.
No, what do you got?
Big Van Vader, you wrestled him for a while.
Oh, wow.
Or we call him Vader in the WWF.
There you go.
Man, loved him.
Oh,
All right.
man.
Was it true though that he never washed his gear?
Oy. Oh boy.
I don't think he did.
So what was it like wrestling a 400-pound armpit? I mean, what are you telling me here?
Exactly, that's what it was.
Exactly. Holy soap bar, Batman. Oh my Lord.
I don't think he ever watched that costume.
How easy was it to wrestle this man? This man was a behemoth just like you. I guess it was okay for you, right? I mean, was he?
Oh yeah,
easy
because he was a shooter too.
Okay.
And so I mean, if I shoot on you, I don't mind you shooting back. Or if you shoot on me, I'm gonna shoot back on you.
Sure.
And Vader was a shooter, so we had a real good match, man.
I guess it's pointless to ask if Vader had soft hands because the answer is obviously no.
No,
Not at all.
no. I just feel sorry for the jobbers that come in, man. He would kill them jobbers when they get in there. For the new guys, he would kill them.
What's your take on jobbers and the fact that we really don't see them anymore in wrestling? Do you feel like it's a lost art being a jobber? I'm sure you would not have wanted to be one yourself, but any thoughts on the jobber role in pro wrestling?
Yeah, I think it's a lost art. Like you said, you don't see it. It's almost non-existent now.
Mm-hmm. Good or bad that it's non-existent? What says you?
I say bad.
Okay.
So you had a good relationship with Vince in the beginning, and obviously at the end it kind of soured. Can you tell us like what led to the end there, and have you ever made contact with him after leaving the WWE?
Well, no, I have never ever called her once. But it was I had a sick family member, and things weren't going great in my life, and I just feel it was time, to step away. So I, just kind of stepped away from the whole thing.
So you told him I'm walking away, and what was his response to you about that?
Basically what he says to everybody, well, if you go leave now, I don't know if I could be able to take you back in future and things like that.
So you move on to WCW, and I think you start working under Vince Russo with the new Harlem Heat. What was the difference in the culture between the WCW and the WWE and actually working for Vince Russo?
I like Vince Russo, man. He was okay dude, man.
How
And
was
just his. Go ahead.
how was it working for the WCW?
I enjoyed WCW. I enjoyed the guys there because not one time. Let me put you in this scenario. Why is it in WWF they say I was a shooter and stiff, but not one person in WCW ever said anything about me being a shooter or stiff?
It's a good point.
Explain.
Never thought about that.
Just the
Because the
culture?
WWF was right. WWF was all about getting over and creating them, and like I said, they were jealous and they were bitter, and it was all about getting them themselves over. They didn't care about anybody else. In WCW, you had a different group of men, but they not once, as one person said, I ever was stiff or shot on them or anything.
So just the difference in culture and a difference in attitude in general. Did you make more in a
Yes.
month at WCW than you made in your couple of years with Vince? Or because those contracts back in those the Russo era, they were really handing out those dollar signs. So
Yeah, they were. I wouldn't say it was double. But
okay.
So if you could turn back time, would you have done anything different in your WWE career? Maybe acted a little different, or maybe got along, like would you have kissed Triple H's ass or something like that? I don't know. Like, would you have done something different?
The only thing I would have did different was I would have took more time to train and get the skills underneath my belt before I went in. That's the only thing I would have done different.
Was there any particular opponent you wish you had gotten a chance to be booked against that never happened when you were in those companies? Like, man, why couldn't I have at least faced this guy?
I would like to face Stone Cold. Another guy I would love to have faced was Big Psycho Sid.
Oh my lord,
That would have been great. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, I'm trying to picture
Yeah,
this.
that would have been.
Oh my lord, I'm trying to picture this. Right, it's a stiff shot competition. Who wins?
Oh yeah.
Maria Davis out there is asking, do you miss wrestling?
That's a great question. That's great.
Yes. Yes, I do.
What about it? What about it do you miss? Except the money.
Just yeah, that for sure.
Yeah.
Just being in the ring, and throwing guys around and just beating the shit out of people, not going to jail.
So over the years, your memory grows fonder. Is it fair to say of your time in wrestling, or?
Yeah, it does. Once I think back about being the first African American and what it really meant, and how many doors it did open, I really enjoy that.
Well, I could tell you that the fans enjoyed you, that's for sure. I'm going to name a couple of wrestlers that have passed that you probably have worked with. If you could just share some thoughts on them. Brian Pillman.
Wow.
Oh, wild man. This is a wild man.
How about China?
China was very cliquish, if I can say.
So it was almost like standoffish with her, because she was just running with those guys.
Right, and it was oozing out of her. I mean, it was China all the way.
Who else you got, Mike?
He let her start, beating up men, and she, started letting that go to her head.
Mm-hmm.
How about Sean Waltman?
I don't know. Skip that one.
All right, that's fine.
Besides, he's not dead. He just looks like crap.
All right, but so
sorry.
before we
Yeah.
hit with the Pharaoh's final question, I just want to go back to D'Lo Brown and your thoughts about. I'll just share my thoughts about D'Lo and the Draws situation. I always felt like he should have taken care of Draws even up to this point. You know, even though it could have been an accident. What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
I agree with you. I mean, how could you ruin somebody's life or change their life course and not take care of them, not be there for them? You know, and I've heard rumors, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard rumors that, you know, he would go times without calling the draw. I mean, if I paralyze you and change your life, man, I'll be calling you every day.
Yeah.
I don't think he's showing enough gratitude, man.
Donnie Alston's asking, would you consider going to Impact or AEW?
No.
How come?
Just too old. My bones couldn't take it.
Yeah, the body would say "F you." I gotcha.
All right, so
Yeah.
we're gonna hit you with the Pharaoh's final question. This is where the Pharaoh just comes up with a question
This is not
off
gonna-
script.
this is
He
not
might
gonna be
ask you
easy.
if you like peanut butter and jelly.
I'm
I
not gonna
have
ask
no
him-
idea what he's gonna ask you.
Here we go again.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Let me see. Hess or Shell gas station? Which do you? Would you stop? Oy, anyway.
Shell.
All right. Shell. See, he's with
It's
me.
over. There you go.
And he's
Shell.
smart enough not to pick a formerly owner of the Jets, so he knows his football too. He's not picking Hess, that's for sure. Do you still? Are you a fan of the Dallas Cowboys? If I can ask real fast, or
Is that the question?
no, because
Oh,
I'm
so this
leading
is
up.
a pre-question.
I'm leading up to something.
Okay, I got you.
mean, being that you played for the Cowboys briefly, are you a Dallas Cowboy fan, or are you a football fan in general, or
They're on my top 5 list. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I'm a football fan all the way, man.
who's your favorite team though? Your NFL team? Is it Dallas?
The Raiders.
It's he's a Cowboy, but he likes the Raiders. I kind of like this guy.
So let me.
That kinda works
Well,
for
since
me.
he said the Raiders,
Yeah.
what do you think about the whole situation?
What, that they're in Las Vegas?
With Gruden.
I can't stand that they're
With-
in Las Vegas.
No, not them
What?
moving.
Oh, there's controversy again with the Raiders. What did they do this time?
You don't know?
What happened now? The Pharaoh doesn't have a television set. Fill me
I
in.
mean, why don't you fill the Pharaoh in? What's going on with the former coach of the Raiders?
Oh,
John,
yeah.
he got caught some racial twits.
Yeah. Whoops, Chucky.
So
Whoops.
what do you think about Chucky and those tweets? Do you think the punishment was too harsh?
I didn't think it was going to be that harsh. I mean, I knew they were going to have to come with something harsh, but man, they dropped the hammer. But it sends a good message out there to anybody else who's thinking about doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's telling you don't ever use your phone again.
Pretty much.
Don't ever use your phone again. Don't shoot deer. This is what we've learned in today's
Don't
today's
stand
show.
still. Don't stand
shoot
still for
deer,
Jesus.
and
Don't do that.
Don't have Sonny in the back corner.
Yeah, that's not a good idea
All right,
either.
Pharaoh's
No,
final
yeah.
question.
All right. First of all, thanks a lot, Ahmed, for coming on the show. You've been a great
You
guest.
guys.
Thank you, man. Let's see. Give me your favorite moment of your professional wrestling career where you just think about this one particular night over and over again. Do you have a favorite moment in your career that you reflect back on?
I'd say when I won the title.
Okay. How about give me 2 more? Okay, that should have been pretty obvious. Becoming the first African American Intercontinental Champion. That would be number 1 on my list. Well, how about give us 2 and 3? You got a couple more?
I would say my first day there, because I got to be with a bunch of friends, that I knew.
So just coming in the door the first day and feeling the experience and meeting Vince, et cetera, et cetera?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
You got a favorite
And,
match? You got a favorite match besides the Intercontinental Championship win?
My favorite match was me and Vader.
There you go. Thoughts when Vader
favorite
passed?
match.
Real quick, your thoughts when Vader passed away?
Oh, just sad, just sadness stricken.
Had you stayed in touch with him over the years?
We used to talk at conventions and stuff like that when we would get together at conventions and autograph signings.
And on the subject of conventions, any shot of getting you out here on the East Coast anytime in the next couple of years? Because I heard you like to hang out in Texas, throw cattle around.
Yeah, brother. I'm definitely gonna make a trip out to New York.
Awesome.
Yeah, you got to come up here, man. We're
please
fans
come
are
up here.
dying to see you. That's for sure.
And then we can get you and Tony Atlas to say hello and probably eat some lousy. Were you going to take them to Checkers again, Mike, or we'll take them to a good place?
Checkers. This guy's out of control. Ahmed, I want to thank you again, sir. Thank you for taking the time of coming on the show. What an honor. And
yes.
I got to tell you, I'm hoping to see you in the Hall of Fame. I'm hoping maybe you and the McMahons could maybe make up because your importance to this industry is huge.
Of course.
And it's great that you were part of the pre or close to Attitude Era because it was important. But it's a shame that you had to deal with all the bullshit that you had to deal with.
Right.
Yep. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a great night and be safe, okay?
And hope to see you soon.
Oh, you too.
All right, thank you.
You will.
All right,
Thank you.
All right, man.
He's awesome.
Awesome.
Yep. Kicks ass. Now I have to go home and binge watch.
Now you have to binge
You know
watch.
I'm going to go home and binge watch now.
I hope everybody enjoyed that.
Absolutely.
What a great man.
What a specimen he was. Oh, my God, what a specimen.
But you know
Oh,
what?
my God.
Completely honest.
Yeah.
But like honest to a point, but didn't get too deep into anything, right?
No, he's smart.
That was smart. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Smart man. Absolutely. Now, you know what I was going to ask him, but you would have slapped me. You know, the Farrell's final question?
Go ahead.
Tony Romo, thumbs up or thumbs down? Because I think Tony Romo was a pretty damn good quarterback, but I wanted to hear it because he played for the Cowboys.
Well, it's funny. I
figured I better not ask that,
I didn't
though.
want to insult him because I think he was part of the Cowboys in that 1-16 or 2-15.
That's not his fault.
No, but I'm saying
not
it
his
wasn't. It
fault.
was pre.
It's just a shame.
Phil,
that he didn't
thank
get-
you. I'm glad. I hope everybody enjoyed the show.
Was
it seemed
that
like
Phil?
everybody enjoyed.
Wait. Was that Phil DeCesare? Because that's how you say his name.
You see, you learned, right?
Of course I learned.
Maria, thank you so
What's up, Phil?
much. I really enjoyed it. I was a huge fan of him.
I know you were. I know you were.
He had so much potential.
Can I get this out there? Why the hell did they never make him a bad guy?
They did.
No, like a real, like
Well, they put him
really-
in the nation.
Yeah,
and then they
but
pulled him out of the nation.
that's what I'm saying. No sustainability. Like
Thank you, what about?
really push him and give him a manager and all this other. This guy could have been killing people every week for years.
In my
know.
opinion, the things that
I don't
killed
know.
Ahmed Johnson's career were one.
The injuries
he-
got
well,
in the
first
way.
he was too green.
The injuries
he was
got
very
in the way.
green.
Yeah,
No one helped him.
obviously
And
not.
if I was,
That's annoying.
if I was a friend of his,
Oh my
back,
God, how could
that
you not wanna
back
help
then-
him?
No, but if I was a friend of him back then,
I'd feel
I would
intimidated.
I would say, bro, you
Yeah.
gotta look for help.
Yeah,
You gotta make friends with some of these vets.
right.
Let them take you under their wing.
Seems like nobody wanted to do
But
that.
like a
though.
guy like
you
Ron
can't
Simmons,
make somebody,
you hear all
know?
these guys talk about Ron Simmons. He said Ron
Right.
Simmons was jealous. I get it.
I could see
But
it,
there's a
yeah.
way that I think
A little schmoozing, maybe.
a little
or something?
kissing ass. There's nothing wrong with kissing a little
I like
ass.
to use the word schmoozing, but I understand what you're getting at. Maybe
think
he
about
just
it.
wasn't into doing that.
But
I can
guess
see
what, though?
that. That's fine.
Not only did Mr.
Fuck 'em.
Johnson, yeah, but you know what? Only did he lose out on the
Yeah,
potential.
I got you.
Us as wrestling
Yeah,
fans
we did lose out. No,
lose
you're
out
right. I would've
on the
loved to have-
potential. So many
would've loved
fans
to
are
see more of 'em.
speaking or
Yeah.
writing.
Yeah.
When him and Farouk had their little altercation,
Yeah.
it looked real. It
Yeah.
felt real. Right? You can't buy that type of
No,
stuff.
you can't.
So if
You
you just
can't.
could have just settled in a little bit, again, we all could do something better.
Right.
But
Right.
but for the short career
Right.
Mr. Johnson had,
What a meteor in the sky.
thank you.
What a meteor in the sky. Absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you, sir. Luce, thank you for joining
What's
us.
up, Luce?
I'm glad you guys all joined. Just a couple of show things to speak about. So we're on next Thursday, and then we're on the next Thursday after that. And don't forget, every Friday you have This Week in Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
And then live in studio, we have the following Saturday, which is, hold on, maybe I should have it up on my
Hold
script.
on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Triumph.
Yeah, I was
Triumph,
just thinking
hold on.
Triumph with Mr. Rick Emmett belting away.
We've got. Did I have
It's
it
a couple
here?
of it's a couple of weeks from now.
Hold on. No, don't say that.
Matty, pull up the date. Matt's like,
He's like, damn you,
he's like,
Monty."
leave me alone.
So we, I think it's like November 12th. We've got
Okay.
PG.
Up.
Got it right here. November 12th, Bill
Thank you, Matt.
Dundee and PG-13. That's a Saturday, 8 to 10 p.m.
Nice.
And November 20th,
Here we go.
Baby Doll and Ranger Ross
That's like
in studio.
Baby Doll, you're going to be marking out all over the place.
Oh, my God. I got to tell you, before we end the show, I just want to thank everybody. I was a huge fan of Ahmed Johnson.
Yeah.
He was so kind to come on the show.
was, absolutely.
Gave a great interview.
Yep, yeah.
Still's intimidating as fuck.
Are you kidding me?
You know
He
what I
sounds
mean?
huge through the headphones. I'm like, hey, good thing he's all the way in Texas.
Maddie was scared. Maddie locked the production off.
Yeah, he like closed the doors over there. He didn't want to see it. You didn't want us to see you trembling? I mean, what's the story over there?
The production in the studio has allowed the doors to not open further.
Oh, that's right. There you go. You know, the other thing, too, it was good to see him laugh. He seemed like he enjoyed the interview, so that was really nice.
Yeah, man.
All right, well, I want to thank everybody for joining Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Please catch Monty DeFaro every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. on the Monty DeFaro YouTube page. Catch us on the Monty DeFaro Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Anchor. Channel 115 every Tuesday from 9:30 to 10 p.m. And on Saturday, Channel 20 at 1 a.m. and Channel 115 on Saturday at 11:30 p.m.
Nice.
You like that time?
I like these time slots.
Right?
Yeah.
I
Late
want to
nights,
thank
weekend.
everybody for joining us. We do love you all. And again, I want to thank you guys for a wonderful show last week. Jimmy, can you send us out, please?
You've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh, and until next week, love ya and later.